Hello and welcome back in this fine, great and warm morning. I received a cool requested video by Mr. Charlie Anderson. He requested a cool concept of a van or a truck. I did a lot of pickup trucks before, but I really like vans, especially people movers, not normal vans. I like people movers because they are amazing. They are not bad, and they are always boring in real life. And I always like to spice them up and make them, quick, pure, and economical, and cool to look at. And this is a cool request by Mr. Charlie. He wanted a V16 van or a pickup truck. He want the chassis, the body to be as heavy as possible, and he want the engine with special requirements, and he wanted only to rev all the way up to 2500 rpm only. That's it. So let's start with the chassis that I chose. I've chosen corrosion resisting steel because choosing normal steel and corrosion resisting steel, they are basically the same weight, but the corrosion resisting steel is just better. It will not get rusty. That's why I chose it. Now the chassis type, I've chosen monocoque. If I want, I can choose. Alright, I'm gonna choose ladder here. I don't care. Ladder, I know it because I always like monocoque because it's modern, it's more safe. But ladder is classic and heavy, and I'm not really sure because he also wants the van to be safe. I know he wants the safety to be as high as possible, and he wants the weight to be as high as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna choose. Look, the monocoque has good safety. The ladder is heavy. I'm gonna choose monocoque because I want safety as well. Moving on, the chassis material, I'm using also corrosion resisting steel. As you can see, it's basically the same weight. It's still normal steel, but this one is made specifically so it will never rust, which is great. Front transverse, I really wanted to put it at as a front longitudinal, but the engine would not fit. So I chosen front transverse. This way the engine can fit and it will work perfectly for this kind of setup. I've chosen double wishbone in front, multi-links in the rear. As you can see, +3 quality on the chassis, and this is the engine that I made. It's a 90 degrees 16 cylinder engine, magnesium block, 71.4mm on the bore, 95.2mm on the stroke, which equals 6099 cc, or you can say 6.1 liter engine. Dual overhead camshafts with 4 valves per cylinder, aluminum silicon head, variable valve lift technology, cast iron crank, cast connecting rods, and low friction cast pistons for better fuel mileage or fuel economy. Zero quality here. 9.91 is the compression ratio, 0 on the camshaft profile, and 15 on the variable valve lift profile, because look at the RPM. I have only to work with 2500 RPM, and I've chosen 0 on the cam because I want as high power and torque possibly on the lowest amount of RPM. And 15, this is like the 2500 maximum amount of power, and 15 is just the perfect number for it, the perfect profile for 2500 RPM. Variable valve timing technology is needed here, and also Mr. Charlie requested it, and as you can see I'm using +5 quality here. Twin turbocharged system with ball bearing internals, 390 horsepower supporting intercooler with custom turbochargers, 36mm on the compressor, 26.1 on the turbine, 1.26 on the air ratio, and 11.4 psi of boost. +5 quality here. Direct fuel injection, single throttle body, standard intake manifold. If you are wondering why I chose standard, because in the request, Mr. Charlie wants the engine to be as quiet as possible. He wanted to be extremely quiet, and using standard intake will eliminate loud induction noise. As you can see, the loudiness is only 17 points. The engine is just whispering. 13.6 is the air-fuel ratio with 100 on the ignition timing. I know some of you would say, why did you choose 100? 100 ignition timing is very advanced for 2500. but this one, or this ignition timing, made the highest amount of power and torque even at low RPM. That's why I've kept it on 100. 2500 is the RPM limit. I know this is weird. As you can see, the engine can go all the way to 6100, 6300, 7200 on the crank, but Mr. Charlie wants this man to be a concept. As you can see, 20+6 quality on the fuel system, and as you can see, the exhaust system is just short blast headers, dual exhaust pipes, 1.8-inch exhaust diameter, or 44.4 millimeters. I'm using bypass valves so I can make the exhaust quiet at low RPM, and also so I can make it extremely small. As you can see, 1.8-inch only. High flow 3-way catalytic converters. I know I could have chosen 3-way to make it even quieter, but I want also to make good amount of power and torque, and 3-way will just choke the exhaust of this engine and it will make the power drop significantly. Reverse flow first and second mufflers, so I'm using quad reverse flow mufflers plus 11 quality so I can make it as quiet as possible. This is the final result: 253 horsepower, 602 pound-feet of torque. As you can see, absolutely amazing. This engine is extremely torquey. It's making good power even at 2500. It's extremely reliable. The service cost is very acceptable and the fuel economy is good. As you can see, the engine is fairly heavyweight because it's made from magnesium and the heads from aluminum silicon. Even the internals are made from cast aluminum or cast iron. It's still fairly lightweight. Let's see, the engine is extremely quiet. It has good throttle response. It's extremely smooth. It's perfect. And it's very clean. The emissions are very small, or very tiny, or very low, sorry. Now let's fire up this puppy so I can show you how a 2500 engine rev. As you can hear, the engine is running very slowly, extremely slowly. I mean, the pistons are just moving on very slow. I mean, some of you would say it's good for reliability. I know that. I mean, the low RPM engines tend to live extremely longer than, high revving engines. But still, it's not really a great idea, and I will tell you why in a minute. Let me just, as you can see, I'm using the 2000 people mover, zero quality on everything, and with this white looking color here, it looks magnificent. Now let me show you some cool fixtures. For example, look at these twin headlights and this front grille, also the down front grille, fog lights, the logo, the V16 badge on the side with the indicator, and of course side mirrors with indicator lights in them. These door handles, the fuel filler cap, the rear indicator. I know some of you would say I've chosen a lot of indicators on the side, but remember, this is a van, this is a people mover, and it's big. You need to alarm the people around you that you will indicate to go left or to go right, and these are just normal placed indicators. They are not overkill. These are the tail lights that I've chosen. Normal ones, square ones, just indicator, reverse light, and brake lights. As you can see, there's the license plate holder, the logo, and the tailgate door handle, the turbo badge, and the V16 badge, twin exhaust pipes. And let me show you a little surprise that I found on Steam Workshop. Yes, my friends, now we have a sunroof and a panoramic sunroof. Yes, it looks magnificent. I found it on Steam Workshop as a mod and I downloaded it, and as you can see this is the one here. And I also found this front grille. I'm gonna bolt it on, or I'm gonna choose it for hypercar of some sort. But this is the sunroof. It looks magnificent, right? And yes, on the top there is the antenna and the third brake light. So yes, there are a lot of attention to details in this van, and the turbocharged badge on the side here. It looks good, right? I've chosen these rims also. Let's move on. Also, Mr. Charlie requested a 9-speed gearbox, and I've chosen because all the other gearboxes has like 7-speed, 6-speed only. Only the automatics has the 9-speed option. I've chosen advanced automatic. Advanced means a computer-controlled gearbox. Normal automatic means regular mechanical gearbox with valves that opens and closes according to oil pressure and speed. But this one is controlled by a computer, and I've chosen it because we are using an advanced V16 engine in front, so it deserves an advanced gearbox. Front wheel drive, because the engine is running low on RPM, and using all-wheel drive made the van extremely slowly. As you can see, 9-speed gearbox, and yes, because we are using a low RPM engine, the top speed has dropped significantly. So as you can see, I'm already maxed. I maxed the gearbox all the way, and the top speed is only 188 kilometers per hour. It's like 100 miles per hour. That's it. This is the top speed of this van because of the low RPM. And as you can see, the spacing, this is the perfect number that I can get, because I will get the least amount of wheel spin and the highest or the quickest 0 to 100 time, which is 43 on the spacing, in between low spacing and high spacing. Electronic limited slip differential, yes, it's a little bit overkill, but the customers loved it and it made it quicker from 0 to 100. Radial hard long life tires, 220s in front, 200 in the rear, 60-inch rims, 670 is the tire diameter, no offset, magnesium rims, because I want to give it a little bit of lightweight rims. As you can see, the customers will hate the luxurious. I'm gonna choose magnesium. Ventilated discs in front, 3 pistons options, 325 millimeters is the brake rotor in front, solid discs, 2 pistons in the rear, 325 also, 40 on the pads, 65% to the front, 35 to the rear, zero quality, fully clad with cooling flaps, aerodynamics, 50 on the front lip, there is no rear wing, so I just don't look here. The engine cooling airflow is 55, but the brakes are 100 plus for quality here. I'm using 6 seats, 2 in the front, 2 in the middle, 2 in the rear. Handmade interior, so it's the most expensive and the most exquisite and the heaviest of the interior options. If you're wondering what does handmade means, you can pause the video here so you can read it, and you can pause it here also so you can continue and here. And the entertainment also, I'm using luxury HUD, and you can pause all video also here so you can read. Zero quality, and as you can see, I'm using electric variable power steering, electronic stability control plus launch control. No, why am I using launch control? No need for launch control. Yes, only electronic stability control, that's enough. Plus 5 quality, advanced safety, the highest of the safety options and the heaviest as well. Active comfort springs, semi-active dampers, passive sway bars. This is a very custom setup of suspension. Minus 1.5 degrees of camber in front, no camber at all in the rear. Spring stiffness are 360 in front, 260 in the rear. Dampers are 2.40 in the front, 1.60 in the rear, and the sway bars are maxed out, fully on stiff and thick, so I can decrease the roll angle, because this van rolls extremely high, and I've chosen the highest and the stiffest sway bar so I can eliminate too much of the roll angle, and it still rolls 2.6 degrees. The ride height is perfect, as you can see, 2.83 millimeters, which makes this van reliable and drivable, and you can put stuff in it, you can put cargo in it, no problem. And it's not too much low and it's not too much high. As you can see, the wheels are, the wheel gap here is looking pretty much normal for a people mover. This is the final result: 188 kilometers per hour, 10 seconds from 0 to 100, 70 seconds is the quarter mile. There is no brake fading at all. It weighs 2.5 tons. You can tow 3 tons behind it. You can put 381 kilograms of cargo in it, and it will cost you $79,000 because it's extremely high end and extremely comfortable. As you can see, the comfort points are 91, so this is extremely comfortable, and it's prestigious, and it's very safe, it's very drivable, it's very practical, it has good utility points, and it can go off-road. Surprisingly, it's reliable, it's environmental resistant, and it makes, yes, it can go with 23.4 miles per gallon. The emissions are extremely low for a V16 engine. I'm really happy with the 40 points. I thought the V16 will make huge amount of emissions, but it's very clean. I'm using nearly all the octane. It looks good. It drives good, but I'm not really convinced with the top speed. But let me first show you how it will go around the test track. As you can see, I already ran it around the test track, as you can see, 1.42.96, so it's extremely slow, but let's fire it up. So as you can see, it did it in 1 minute 42 seconds, 0.95. It's slow, it's not fast, but it's extremely luxurious. Now, I know that Mr. Charlie said the RPM should be 2500, but let me show you. If we just push the RPM a little bit, for example, it's now 2500. What will happen if I put it on 3000? Here we go, 3000 RPM limit. It's still working perfectly. We made more power and the customers loved it. Let me show you what will happen with the top speed. It's still 188, but let me move the needle. 226 kilometers per hour, and it's quicker from 0 to 100, as you can see. Let me set it perfectly. I guess around 37. Alright, 9.1 seconds now. And let me show you what kind of time will this one will be after this a little bit of modification. 1 minute 41. So we got faster just by increasing the RPM and the top speed. Look, it's now 9 seconds instead of 10, 16 seconds instead of 17. Yes, we have a little bit of brake fading because of the higher top speed. Now let's see, the only warning lights that I had before making this modifications was the engine or the short gearing was making this vehicle top speed is making it very low, but now we have solved it. The engine bay is very full because of the turbocharging. Don't worry about this stupid warning light. As you can see, just by increasing the RPM limit, we are making much higher progress. But let me show you what 4000 will make. 4000 RPM will make the top speed nearly 300 kilometers per hour. I mean, it says, let me see how much we can push this bad boy. 243. Alright, so we can go 237 kilometers per hour and 0 to 100 time in just 8.59 seconds. From the same engine, from the same everything. We just increased the RPM and increased the top speed. Let's see the time now. 139.89. The same van, the same seats, the same chassis, the same everything. Just by increasing the RPM and the gearbox top speed. And I think this is now perfect. 4000 RPM is just it's still slow. The engine is running and rotating slowly. We are not stressing the engine, and the van is still comfortable and quiet and luxurious. Yes, this is perfect now. I mean, I know that Mr. Charlie says 2500, but I promise this one is better, Mr. Charlie. Just look at it like I'm doing right now. Now let's modify the van or see if everything is actually working perfectly before, you know, putting it up to sale, because I want to eliminate the brake fading, as you can see. Let's see which one of these will make it. Let's keep it on 2 pistons here. Let's balance the brakes. Alright, now they are balanced. 6. Alright, we have to choose the 6 piston option so I can eliminate any kind of brake fading, and it's safer this way. Even if the customers hated it a little bit, it's still safer this way. It says here the front brake force is very high. I know that. Don't care about that. I want to eliminate brake fading, and how can I do that? Alright, now this is perfect. 4 pistons, a little bit of stiffer brake pads, sticky brake pads, and now we eliminated the brake warning light. Perfect. Now let me see what else we have. Everything is perfect. Let me see if the suspension will get. No, leave it on 0. No, stiffer springs, also no. I always like to check twice. Yeah, we can make it a little bit comfortable, but I don't know. Alright, now as you can see, sometimes not everything works. You have to check everything twice. Alright, so now it's perfect. Now it's perfect, no need to play with it more. As you can see, now the top speed is reasonable, 237 kilometers per hour, 8.5 seconds is the 0 to 100 time, 16.26 is the quarter mile time, no brake fading. It's still 2.5 tons. It's still and it can tow right now 3,163 kilograms. And let's see, the price is now $80,000 and $80. $80,080. Now that's perfect. 22.5 mpg, still safe, still very much comfortable. It's still drivable, and it's now more prestigious because it has higher top speed. The emissions has increased a little bit from a higher revving engine, but it's still 4,000 RPM. So thank you so much, Mr. Charlie, for your co-request, and I really hope the modifications that I made on this van For example, the RPM, the top speed, the sunroofs on the top, and I'm really happy with the end result. Thank you so much, Mr. Charlie, and thank you so much guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are new to the channel, hit that notification bell also, so you can get a notification each time I release a new video. I want you guys to request classic engines, modern engine. I want you to go crazy. Request anything you want in the automotive history, and even in the recent history, it's okay. But first, please make sure that the game can support these engines that you are requesting. So thank you so much guys for watching. I'm gonna see you very soon with more cool videos and content, and goodbye my friends for now.